People, Chelsea are going to win the Club World Cup. Yeah, you probably shouldn't trust what I'm going to say as someone who's clearly a Chelsea fan and just a bit biased, and also who just talks on this channel about rugby league. Maybe I'm not the best source to tell you that. But in this video, I will prove to you why Chelsea have a genuine chance at being the champions of the world. So, let's begin. Well, people, I guess the number one point is the bracket. Chelsea were put in Group D. Easier group. They had Flamengo, ES Tunis, and a previous team, can't remember who they were, but they got replaced with LAFC because of some reason. Chelsea played decently well in the group stage, except for the game against Flamengo, which we'll get to in a bit. Last time we saw them play is when they beat Real Betis in that Conference League final. They go up on the first day, LAFC, and they win 2-0. It's a good start. Then, the next game, they get destroyed 3-1 by Flamengo with a red card as well. Not looking the best. It puts a lot of pressure on us against ES Tunis on the final game of group stage, because if we lose, we're out. That's how much pressure we have when there's only 3 games in the group stage. But that didn't happen. It was good by Chelsea, and they won 3-0, which was, I guess, very expected for a 3-0 win over a team most people have never heard of before. But now we'll go, as I said earlier, the main point is the bracket. If you clearly look at the bracket now, especially, there's a Deaf side on this side, Deaf side, and then there's Chelsea's side. It should just be called Chelsea's side, because if you have a look at it, it has a decently easy pathway to the final. But we all know in tournaments like this, which I believe is started off as feels like friendlies, now it's feeling like a proper tournament kind of. Tournaments like these, there's not always an easy way. But on paper, there's a slight easy way. On paper, there is an easy way. Now, Chelsea were able to beat Benfica in the round of 16, 4-1. They did score. They went off for 2 hours because of rain delay. It's stupid. They should have just ended there. I'll complain about that in a different video. Benfica came on. They got a penalty. They scored it. But then Chelsea in extra time scored 3 more goals plus a red card for Benfica. Ended 4-1. Puts us to the quarterfinals where we versus Palmeiras. Normally a team I wouldn't be scared of at all. But we know what they can do, okay? The last time we played them, it was quite close, but we did beat them. They are a good side from what we've seen in the Club World Cup, and they have a lot of support behind them, and there's a chance of an upset. Then we go on to more of our bracket. There was 2 games only yesterday from when recording this, when Inter and Fluminense versed each other, and Man City and Al Hilal. We've easily thought that we're going to get Inter and Man City again, like we always do in knockout tournaments, but it's exactly what we didn't get. Inter got shocked. The Champions League finalists of this year got shocked 2-0 by a Brazilian team, Fluminense. No hate to them. Major respect for being Inter. And even more respect, I don't have much respect for Saudi Arabian teams, but this is the one time I do. Because Al Hilal pulled off a miracle. They were able to beat Man City in extra time. They beat Man City in extra time 4-3 to knock one of the big favourites out. 2 favourites, Inter and Man City, both out in the round of 16. We didn't expect anything less from the Deaf bracket. PSG easily came through, same with Bayern. Real Madrid and Juventus was always going to be a little close one, but Real Madrid got through, and Dortmund as expected. Chelsea should be able to beat Palmeiras in small conclusion. That'll put us through to the semi-final. Crazy. I thought we were going to get out in the group stage, then to a semi-final. In my expert football knowledge, which I do secretly, I know I'm not just an YouTuber, I watch other sports as well, and I'd like to talk about that a bit more, but that's what, once again, not what I'm here to talk about. I'll mention that all at the end. But, from using that knowledge I've got, I'm going with a Fluminense win. Now, they were able to beat Inter, and I understand how were able to beat Man City, but Fluminense, after watching their games, watching how they play, they are playing well, and I think they will be able to win. So I would put Chelsea versus Fluminense in that semi-final. If I had to do one for the death bracket, I'm putting Real Madrid and PSG because it's a simple option, and then I'll put Real Madrid to go to the final. And then we'll go back to that game. It's Chelsea versus Fluminense. I think it'd be really, really close. I think Fluminense will put a big fight in. I think it'd be one of the best games of the tournament as well. It'd be a close one, but I do think Chelsea could get a win, maybe 3-2, 2-1, something like that. Now, just in case Al Hilal do win, I think it will be Chelsea dominance. I think a 3-0 against Al Hilal is something which I would expect as a Chelsea fan, and I think that's what we're going to get if Al Hilal cross. But I still think Fluminense. But that doesn't affect really anything in this. We go to the final. It would be Real Madrid and Chelsea. People know, especially football fans, we know there's something in a final. If Real Madrid's up here and Chelsea's down here, it equals right back up when it's a final. It's anyone's game. Anyone can win it. Like, really, anyone can win it. We've seen in the Champions League not long ago when Chelsea won the Champions League, they were able to beat Man City in the final. In the semi-finals, they beat Real Madrid. They've done it before and they can do it again. Real Madrid, to be honest, I know a lot of teams, even though I'm starting to feel like this tournament's a pretty big thing, it's starting to get bigger and bigger. I still think maybe teams like Real Madrid and Man City don't care too much about it. And I know that will obviously change if it comes to a final, but Chelsea could use that. But if I'm not thinking about that, just in general football playing, we can always pull up an upset. We've done it before, we can do it again. So in conclusion, from what I said at the start, Chelsea have the big possibility. They can definitely be champions of the Club World Cup. They can be the best in the world. But we'll have to wait a couple of weeks, I think, to find that out. Or a few days to see if we get knocked out the Palmeiras. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As I said at the start, I am an NRL Rugby League creator. So I will be trying to do a bit more with football because it's another sport I love, and maybe make this more about sports. But for all my NRL guys who made it to the end, I appreciate it a lot because I know this is not the sport you're used to. But I promise you there's probably another NRL video that came out at the same time. Jeez. Or about to come. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.